days in the 1960s, I learned to play this organ at our church in a small town in Ohio. It was the first organ I ever played. That church is located halfway across the country from me now. I left for overseas military duty in 1968 and later relocated to another state. I have not been back since. I recently asked a friend I knew from the church to send me a few pictures of the organ so I could put together a short video. I also dug out an old reel-to-reel tape, which is the recording you hear now. It's the only one I have of me playing this organ during a church service sometime around 1965. The quality is poor, but it's all I have. This organ is over 100 years old and still plays today. It was built in 1910 by the Han, Weinger and Weichart Organ Company of Milwaukee, and I have no idea if I pronounced that right. The company, from what I hear, closed many years ago. It's a tracker organ, which means the keys and pedals are mechanically linked directly to the pipes, rather than using the pneumatic electric relays which came along some years later. Tracker organs are a little more difficult to play since the action can be a bit heavy, as was this one. I wish I had a clearer picture of the stops, but I can pretty much remember most of the names of them by heart, which, being nearly 50 years ago, is quite an accomplishment. The open diapason stop, as I remember, was so loud it would practically blow you off the bench. My teacher advised me to never use it since it was much too loud for the size of the church. I think I used it one time for an opening fanfare in some number, but that was about it. It definitely woke up some of the old ladies in the front pews, so it was used very sparingly. I learned the technique of playing pedals here. The 16-foot board-on pipes always resonated nicely in the church sanctuary. The two pedals, crescendo on the left, added stops as you pressed in. All the way in, it was full organ. And yes, hold your ears. It's like pulling out all of the stops and could blast everyone out of their pews. The right is the swell pedal, which controls the loudness of the organ by opening or closing the shutters in front of the pipe chamber. The third pedal to the left is a reversible grate-to-pedal coupler, but it never worked. One day I got down and twisted myself to look into the organ to see if I could fix it. It appeared to be a wooden mechanism of some kind that was broken and out of reach, so it never got fixed. Down in the basement is where you'll find the organ blower. I don't know who did the psychedelic paint job on it. Interesting. This is a shot of the motor which operates the blower, and a partial view of the blower mechanism. Plenty of oil and grease is kept on hand to keep it running smoothly. As I remember from learning about the history of this organ, it didn't always have an electric blower. In the early days, it was powered by a manually operated pump in this adjacent room. A pump person would labor away, keeping the organ's wind chest full, similar to these images I found on the internet. Even children were recruited for this job. Apparently, a few preservationists are keeping this tradition alive today, as you can see from this organ located in Houston, Texas. One of the church elders long ago once told me that the pump person would occasionally fall asleep during the sermon, and the organist would have to go back in the room and wake him up. The services of that person were no longer needed after 1920, when the electric blower was installed. Today in that room, all that exists is this wooden panel which covers the hole on the wall where the handle was located. But under the console, the button still exists that the organist used to activate a buzzer, alerting the pump person to start pumping. Apparently not loud enough sometimes to awaken certain sleeping pumpers. This picture is from around the 1910 era, just after the organ was installed. Someday, and it's on my bucket list, I'd like to travel back to my home state and bring along some recording equipment and put together a quality update on this instrument with much better audio. It's a piece of history, and it still brings back a lot of fond memories of earlier times in my life.